This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
Ray, I sure like that intro.
You know, that's just one step above stupid.
Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains?
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
What's going on, freaks? Well, this will be the last live stream on this case. Until there's like then we'll do updates when there's updates. But yeah, I guess since everybody was so, it was interesting for a while there. However, the initial look that we had a long time ago, turns out that is exactly what happened. So what I've been doing this afternoon is I fixed we'll listen to the press conference again. I got a better audio version and then boosted up the 911 call. I haven't seen anywhere out there that has the original WAV file yet, but maybe it's out there. Where they don't send me something where somebody else got the recording from the room of the 911. If you have the original, like they say, here's the original and that's it, I'll take it. But don't send me something if it's just another link to the 911 call. I have that, and then I figured out the timing of different things. And it seems to work, what they're saying, all right? For a minute it wasn't. I was like, oh shit, man, what's going on here? But it works. Everything works, all right? So if you missed it earlier, Carlee Russell, apparently set up the whole thing. I mean, that's what we were saying at the beginning and throughout. That's what seemed the most likely. It's the only thing that made sense. Like the rest of everything else always had a weirdness to it. Okay, it's the only thing that made sense, and and that's what it would explain some weirdness, is that it was a ruse. All right. So if you've been following along on this channel the whole time, you would see the way we were looking at it is very similarly to the way law enforcement was looking at it, except they had more information than we did. Right? So I think one of the worst parts of this whole thing is there's an organization called Black and Missing. And the reason there's an organization called Black and Missing is because when a black person goes missing, there isn't as much fuss or to do about it, as my mom would say. But the thing is this case had that. And then it turns out it's a hoax. So then you kind of, it sucks because it's a true thing that there isn't the same coverage.
Stellar coverage of this case, Grayv.
And I didn't really realize that until I was doing, hey, thanks, Melanie. I didn't realize that until I was doing true crime and covering a lot of old cases and just in general. And then after a while, you start realizing the massive disparity there. Okay? So this instance here does not help anything whatsoever for trying to equalize that. Okay, so pretty soon, maybe like in an hour or so, we'll send in a donation to Black and Missing. I gotta go get at the time I'll go get it doesn't have PayPal or anything like that, so we'll just send it in. All right, so we'll do that later because they'll need help, and you can't have something like this get in the way of what they're trying to do. All right, cool. So let's do the I am a fan of what they're doing there. Okay. There's other organizations like that, like BLM or something like that. I'm not a fan of those guys. Okay, I think they've just absolutely abused their the power that they had, stealing money from the funds, buying nice houses and shit. I mean, what a joke. Okay, and I understand the purpose behind it, but I don't agree with how they've been doing it. Okay. Let's see. All right, you guys ready? I'm going to play the press conference from earlier again, and we'll listen to that. I made it kind of cool, though, so hold on a second. I'll turn up the... Let me get my face out of here. It ruins the cool look of the old-time television. And
besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department, members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and ALEA for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of Carlee Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared. From that point, our focus has been to determine Carlee's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we'll be working this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that Carlee Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear, that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., Carlee left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows Carlee concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure. She ordered food from Taziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time, we will play the 911 call in its entirety.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there is a kid just walking by themselves.
A kid.
Hold on, where on 459 are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Timber Med, like to get off by the Timber Med. Okay, so you're before the exit? Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound? How old do they look? Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. Right now? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't...
it's weird how that part there is weird to have that level of trickery. That comment she just made. Don't you guys agree? I mean, just think about what she said. Yeah, it looks like, almost really pretending to notice something. Isn't that weird? That part right there is high level. That means she's an expert liar to people. You know what I mean? Because that right there is a little more than just... I mean, it's the way she responded. Let's go listen to that again.
A white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has... Male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. Right now? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a...
Yeah, look, white t-shirt. Doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like... That's weird. That's a little much. Like, you know, that's like an expert liar right there, or somebody who really thought about it.
Diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No, no cars anywhere. Okay. All right. What's your name? My name is Carlee Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. Okay. All right, and do they have shoes on? No. Not that I can see. I can't really see that. Look. Okay. All right, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but the officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Carlee called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight. 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carlee's mother stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point in the search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. Detectives, the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded, but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair.
What a miracle. Probably because when she showed up at home, she had like the Cheeto dust. You know, when you eat the Cheez-Its and Cheetos, you get all the little cheese on your finger and it's all over your face. So she needed to explain that part. She didn't realize that people knew that she already bought the Cheez-Its.
But could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right.
I know, Quinn. I just said Cheetos or Cheez-Its. You get the cheese on your fingers just like you do with Cheetos. You get the same thing, Quinn. Are you going to be the new Quinn tonight?
Sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest.
I love Cheetos.
Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data included several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were two searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content.
Yeah, I love the Taken series, all of them. First one's the best one, but the other two are good also, so they're good sequels.
Of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
With that, we'll open the floor for some questions. Please raise your hand and I will call on you. Carol.
Chief, do you expect any charges against Carlee Russell in connection with the disappearance and in connection with what was taken from the Woodhouse spa?
Right now, our focus is to determine those 49 hours, so the investigation continues. So to be perfectly honest with you, that hasn't even entered our mind or been discussed.
One more question. Is it surprising to you that the family has not been cooperative in returning to be questioned?
Well, I think the family has stated to us that they didn't think that in her mental state right now, because of trauma of the incident, that she's not ready to talk, is what we've been told.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, question for Chief. You stated that the abductor had orange hair. Was this abductor black male? Was it female? Black female? White female?
I believe it's a white male. Am I correct by saying that? Was it ever? Yeah, white male.
Is this alleged abductor yet on loose in the Hoover area?
Don't believe so.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief Brittany Dion, WBRC. Has a toxicology report been done, and were any drugs or illegal substances found in her system?
We have no report of that.
Is any indication of mental illness in this case?
There's been a concern in the community that if this turned out not to be a true story, that the next time a young woman of color was missing, that it might not be taken seriously. How would you respond?
I don't know.
I'd respond to say that we investigate every crime to the fullest, just like we have this one.
Was she traveling with anyone? Excuse me. Was she traveling with anyone since the time she disappeared, to your knowledge?
And not to my knowledge.
Chief, I know you said you weren't able to verify a lot of aspects of the story. Where do you think she went, and how would you characterize what happened to her?
You know, that's the $100 question. You know, we pretty much know exactly what took place from the time she left work until she got on the 911 call, and we can see getting out of the car on the interstate from that footage. And after that, I think she only knows. We don't know.
Well, one quick follow-up. Her parents. Did you speak with Carlee's parents, and why do you think it is they were so adamant that there was an abductor?
Yeah, I think parents are believing what their daughter's saying, and we've had a very good rapport with the parents, met with them on several occasions. I've talked to them today a few times, and to make them understand that we're under pressure from our community, not only in our community of the state, but nationally when the story hit. And I just wanted them to understand that today we were going to have a press conference, and what we were going to detail today are facts. And everything that I've told you today is actual facts. It's not innuendos. It's not what I think. It's not what these detectives think. It is the factual information that we have.
Chief, Algernon Robinson, WBRC. How much time do you think you'll give the family before going back to Carlee for sentencing?
Well, I think our detectives have talked to the parents, and we're ready. We're ready to talk as soon as she's ready. So, you know, she called right now. We're ready.
You had one word to describe what went on. What would that be?
How about unknown? You know, we know the facts that we have. Everything else is unknown at this time.
In the back.
What have the past few days been like for you, your department?
Do they mention socks in here? I don't remember them mentioning money and socks. Where does it say that? I have to read the chat too, because we get trolls like the idiot above who said, "Your thumbnail's disgusting." I think my thumbnail's perfect for what the outcome is here. You know, the Cheez-Its and a Oompa Loompa. It's all part of this ridiculous story that was told. What's disgusting about it? If there was an actual missing person, I would agree with you. But there isn't one. Okay? It's making fun of the situation because it's ridiculous. All right? So it's just weird how people's brains are. Those are the triggered wackos.
This has been a stressful search, hasn't it?
Well, absolutely. And again, the focus of the investigation that Thursday when she went missing, of course, the focus was to get Carlee home. That's what we want all. We wanted her safe and sound. And that's all happened. And then, of course, this has gotten to be not only a
So $100 was found where? When did he say that, by the way? In the question and answering right here, or in that long, hey, thank you, Cadillac. In her socks, but kidnappers made her undress. When did they find money in her socks, though? After they went to her house, or what? In the long intro? So before the 911 call or after the 911 call? I almost have to listen to that part again at some point. In the beginning, but it was after the 911 call, right? Oh, when she went to the hospital, okay. Yeah, so that's more information there, that she had money to travel and so forth. So it was after the 911 call. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let me just go back to this part again.
Called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator.
The questions suck anyway.
She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight. 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carlee's mother stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If there was money, so earlier I heard somebody say that, and I was thinking, well, that must be why she did this search of how to take money out of the till or register, whatever the hell it was.
Assets from the point in the search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man...
See, here's what I think. I think part of this is true about how she went through the woods and jumped over the fence, because that's the only place to go. But the rest of it, and there could be a friend or somebody waiting for her over there. You know, I keep going back and forth if she's completely alone, but she needed to get a ride to get to somewhere. You know, whether a ride to the bus station or something, right?
And then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence.
Yes, Danielle.
She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler.
Way to get people to go.
She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby. She told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car.
Checking on the baby? Yeah, we leave our baby, our toddler out by the highway often, and every once in a while we come check on it. You know, I'm checking on it. I'll leave it here after this, but I mean, what a joke. And
the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. Detectives, the male had orange hair with a big bald
That's
spot
part of the recording. Hey, can you guys please hit the like button? Thanks.
on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded, but was not tied up.
Yeah, because you know those pesky 18-wheelers, man, they're really nimble. Like you jump out of one of those and start running the opposite direction, they can just turn on a dime and get right back to you. It's amazing.
Because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail.
I mean, she always,
after giving her time to rest.
She always carries money around in her sock. Okay, now I'm moving it forward to where we were.
That we found out everything. We wanted to get her home, and we have.
Was there any prior indication of mental health problems?
Not that I'm aware of.
Can you just expand on the
I like
people
this guy,
from the state
actually.
federal resources brought in? What were they doing exactly as you all were searching for her? Can you just expand on that? Sure.
I mean, this guy's like the most classic looking, detective, AK, slash, sheriff, whatever you want to do. I mean, he's like, he's exactly what you picture in the movies or something.
Sure. a lot of the from the FBI side, several agents helping us interview. I mean, as you well know, in a case like this, especially when it goes national, we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls. And when you get those calls, some of them may just be outlandish, but you got to follow up on them because you never know that you may get that one tidbit. And I'd also say too that we had a great cooperation with the family. The family received hundreds and hundreds of tips, and every time they got a tip, they sent it to us.
Would you say
that's like Landry,
in this case?
Determine that, no.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610 Summit Media. Question for Chief. With all of the searches that you mentioned, Chief, that were on Carlee's phone, does that kind of give you an indication of her mind state during this ordeal, the 48 hours that she went missing? Well,
again, we want to talk in facts, and I do think it's highly unusual to the day that someone gets kidnapped, that 7 hours, 8 hours before that they're searching the internet, Googling the movie Taken about an abduction. I find that very, very strange, yes.
Yes. Do you feel confident, do your investigators feel confident that you know why Carlee Russell may have done this?
No, we do not know. Absolutely not.
Chief, can you explain for us, you mentioned that while I believe you said that Carlee was on the phone with 911, she was traveling 6 football fields, which tells you what?
Which tells me that I've had kids, and I'm sure a lot of people here have, and it's very, very, again, she said it, and I'm not saying it couldn't happen because I've always been one of these guys, never say never, but 6 football fields. I mean, I like athletics, I like football. 6 football fields. To think that a toddler, barefoot, that could be 3 or 4 years old, is going to travel 6 football fields without getting in the roadway, without crying, without any just moving down. It's just very hard for me to understand.
Chief, have you used any technology to enhance the video from 459, and did you see a man grab her?
We did not see, from what we can tell. We don't see anybody on the interstate other than her car and then someone getting out of her driver's side. We have sent that off to the FBI for enhancement. It has not been returned.
Do you think in this case that charges will be forthcoming towards Carlee Russell, and how serious of a crime is it to not only fabricate a 911 call, but to lie to law enforcement during an investigation?
Well, again, that's not something that we've been discussed since we're going through the still investigation. But, people have to understand that when someone says something like this, we put every available resource. Everybody comes together from, like I say, state, local, federal. It's just a lot of work, and the gentleman earlier said frustrated. I mean, it is a little frustrating to think that all this has been done and we can't find anything out.
Did anyone see her calling in from the side of the road when she made that 911 call?
No, not to my knowledge.
All right, last question here.
Is this investigation held up until you can speak once again to Carlee Russell?
Well, there's a few things that we're still doing, but obviously we want to talk to Carlee as soon as we can and do an in-depth interview. And at that time, I think we'll have these investigators doing some other things. So
that's all the questions we're going to answer today. We appreciate you guys coming, and we'll be following up with y'all later. Thank you so much.
All right. Awesome. So let's see. So I did some looking into different things. You guys remember the 921? We were kind of trying to figure out the timing earlier. It's really close to what we had anyways. But so 921 sitting here at Target. Apparently she must have gone in and got snacks and then sat in the parking lot until 921. So I looked up the time. And where is that? No, there it is. So it's right here from the Target to right where the car would have pulled over on Interstate 459. It is 13 minutes. Okay? I mean, so this works really well. Because guess what time it is right after that? Guess what time it is? 13 minutes after 9:21 or 9:31 or 21. 13 minutes later, what time is that? Well, it's 9:34, exactly when the 911 call was made. So it matches what they're saying, right? So at 9:21, let's see, 13 minutes later, it's 9:34 right here, and the 911 call's made. Now, the car had already been sitting there for 30, 40 seconds or so, but again, we don't know exactly, but I think we're more dialed in now to the precise time. All right, so let me play this video right here. It's pretty cool. I think you'll like it. I made this one. So this is 9:31, 54 seconds. Or, you can see the clock yourself. So the 9:33:30 or 20 is when the car pulls up, her blinking hazard lights, okay? So I think I've got the 911 call and this synced up. Hey, thank you so much up there to Cadillac, who's responsible for 60% of tonight. If you guys would like to help support the channel, that'd be great. I'm going to be donating a ton of money here in a minute to a charity. Hey, thank you, Bama Forever. Gray, you have been doing amazing work as usual. Hey, well, thank you. Well, so just keep looking at the clock here. But I think this all sort of makes sense now. I think she was still talking to her friend while the car was stopped for a few minutes, probably saying, hey, okay, so what should I do? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you need to call 911. So right after she was sitting still for maybe 30, 40 seconds, maybe 50 seconds, then she called 911 at something like 9:34 and 20 seconds or something. We don't know if it's, they say 9:34, but they usually don't give you the seconds. They don't realize that people actually give a damn when they tell you this stuff. And then the call, though, lasts for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So the call was made at 2:34, right? And then it goes until like 2 minutes and 45 seconds more. So you'll be able to see on the screen here. So there's the car. That was blinking down there. See that? And she's talking to her friend still, likely. Just talking, like, hey, okay, so what should we do? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think whoever she's talking to, they're working through this. But right now, you can see the bottom of the screen. The blinking lights are hers, the hazard lights. She's sitting there. Thank you, Trap House Slots. It's blinking. 9:34, 25 seconds or so.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459.
She's on there,
and
sitting
there
there.
is a kid just walking by themselves. Oh, hold on. Where on 459 are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Med, like to get off by the Hoover Med. Okay, so you're before the exit? Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like towards Tuscaloosa or toward 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay. And was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound?
Just keep watching CCKY. Okay, please. Thank you.
Walking southbound. How old did they look? Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Can you do?
So the thing is this: when the captain or whatever he was said that it drove 600 yards, I think it's near the end. 600. It's 700 and something yards to the spot where the car pulled over. So I think it does part of the drive. This audio is 2 minutes and 45 seconds. We know for certain that it wasn't slowly moving for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It's like a minute, if that. Okay, so that means part of the 911 call was when it was still with its lights flashing. Does everybody understand that, or do I need to keep explaining it? Anybody still confused with that? The 911 call is 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That means a lot of it is when the car is parked with the lights flashing.
Mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
I'd like to have the original, so if we could hear the car moving or what.
Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. Right now? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No cars anywhere. Okay. Alright, what's your name? My name is Carlee Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the shop from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. Okay. Alright, and do they have shoes on? No. Not that I can see. I can't really see that. Look. Okay. Alright, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but the officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Doesn't that just make all the sense in the world? I mean, it matches really clearly, and it could even be a little bit before the 911 call, and they really actually measured the 600 yards, meaning it was short of getting there. So I could actually make it go back to 9:34 in like 10 seconds or something. But you see how important doing little things like this is? I mean, people don't do these things because first of all, they don't think of them. But when you do something like this, it really just puts it in, okay, wow, the police are absolutely nailed this. 9:21, 13 minutes later, the 911 call's made while the car is still, they don't say that for some reason, but then it's still moving while it's ending the 911 call. See? Then she went and called her other friend. All right. Oh, there goes my stomach. Thanks, Holly G. That's right. That's right. I mean, the thing is I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty good with the videos and things like that, and putting the factual pieces of information together to really try to figure out what the hell's going on. And hey, it works, you guys. That's why the police actually do the same thing. She put the coins in her. What do you mean, put the coins in her sock? What are you talking about? It doesn't say that on there. Can you imagine if there was a state trooper or cop nearby and came upon her? Or you mean she had 107 and some change? Is that what you're saying? What coin are you talking about? Yeah, she had $107 in her sock. No, it isn't. 107 means you could have $100 bills and a 5 and 2 ones. I mean, what are you talking about? Maybe in Australia it's like that. Yeah, we have dollar bills here. I remember when I was in Australia, we'd trick the video games where we'd flip in 2-cent pieces because they were similar in size. You take your finger and flip them up in there and they would set off the video game. So we got to play games for 2 cents. Yeah. Yeah, we have dollar bills here. Nobody would... I mean, it doesn't even make sense. And then look at this. Look at the timing now, everybody. The 911 call ends at 9:37. Let's go back to where that ended. Hold on.
Okay, just try to stay, keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks.
Right, and then we go over to here, and now everything makes more sense. Because this is within, I think it's 40, hold on. So we go up to 41, and then boom, here they come. Now it's 4 minutes later. Isn't that what he said on the press conference? 5. So I guess, that's where you can move back in time a little bit. But I think it's more like 4 minutes. 4 minutes and some odd seconds. But originally, remember how they said the officers were on the scene within 4 minutes? So I guess what they're saying, he says 5 minutes of them being dispatched. So probably a minute and something into the call, they dispatched people. But they also said that they arrived 4 minutes after the 911 call, and that absolutely is 100% accurate right there. Okay, so I think they know what the hell they're doing, and we know what the hell we're doing here. I'm still a little bit confused why they don't have nobody's talking about the 3 minutes that it's just sitting there. Doesn't that make it more interesting? Hey, we were just little kids. We would try to find coins inside of a couch, and then we go down there with 20 cents and convert it to like 10 2-cent pieces, and you have to spend time. It was like the little local kids showed us how to do it. We were taught by other delinquents how to trick the video games. Yeah. She says the abductor made her take her clothes off, but she still got her money in her socks. Yeah, that must have been a weird sight. All right, so how about this? I'm going to donate $750 if we get the chat up to, what are we at now? If we get the chat up to, we're at 175 right now. If you get it up to 250, I'll send 1,000, even though the other 250 that you're putting in is taxed, or they take 30% out of it and then tax on it. All right, So here you go. And we'll give you, I don't know, till 6:15. So 15 after to get that up to, yeah, so it's another $75 total. All right, then I'm going to send in $1,000, but it'll be $750 if we don't do that. Thank you, Sophic Manatee. Hippie Chick, been lurking forever. You do great work, Gray. This is my first super chat to any channel. Wow, wow, that's amazing. Thank you. And then up here it said, Sophic Manatee, are there any nearby bus stations from where she left the car that can actually catch a bus to Nashville? Maybe. I mean, let's see. A station in, I don't know, would it be Greyhound or something? Thank you, Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches. We're at 210. Greyhound's over here, but maybe there's like a bus station stop. Yeah, don't see it. Thank you, H-Doc. 215. Bus station is downtown Birmingham. Yeah, I see it. I know where it is. See? It's right over here. So, I'm not sure where she was heading in this neighborhood here. If we get to $35.10 more on Super Chats, I'll be sending in 1,000 to Black and Missing. You've got 5 minutes. We've got 1,614 people there. I think that should be pretty easy to do. Just pretend I'm a cup of coffee and you're tipping me for all the hard work that I've done over the last few days for you guys. And when you go to Starbucks, it's easy, right? But they don't spend 3 hours making you your coffee. Thank you, Cheyenne R, Flounder 23, and Pink Sky S. And if they did spend 3 hours making your coffee, you wouldn't tip them, would you?
Crime channel, celebratory gesture.
It was the mobile leprechaun. Oh, amazing.
Chewbacca?
Thank you, Brown Eyed Girl, Lead with Love, and Tracy Seamer. All right, let's do it. Thanks, Michael. Melanie Knight. Maybe that'll help the YouTube portion there. All right, so we're not like a fake channel that pretends they donate. Okay, I don't know how they work on their site if they send it, but you know, I'll try to show you on the screen. And when they send me an email, when it's through PayPal, it's really simple because they immediately send you something. But I'm not sure how they do it. I don't think the boyfriend was in on it because soon after the presser, he deleted any mention of her from all his social media accounts. Yeah, I just think it was, you know, I think I'm leaning towards somebody helping her, and that's who she was talking to just prior. I think law enforcement, you know, I wonder if they've talked to that person and what they're saying. I think the reality is this, man. Carlee needs to come forward, tell the truth, and apologize, and don't make excuses for it. Just apologize, own up to it, and move forward. There's no out. There isn't a win for her. Okay? There isn't like, you know, and so that happens sometimes. Sometimes you get in a situation where you make a stupid decision and you are stuck with it. Thanks, Booberry. And there's Zozo's line there. Got the toilet paper to clean up her bullshit. Yeah, and what's weird about the toilet paper is, I mean, were you just going to sit out in the woods for a few days and then pop back in and pretend? See, I actually don't think, I think she might have wanted to go somewhere to hang out, but it was always going to be that she would just show up looking disheveled and pretending she was assaulted or something, hoping that there wasn't all this other evidence out there mounting up. She didn't think that they'd be able to disprove her. All right, you guys ready? Thanks. I don't know who. Wait, hold on. Let's almost thank Zozo for it. Yeah.
Consider yourself tipped.
Exploring with blondes. Hey, thanks, Exploring with Blondes. Yeah. You know what's interesting is I've been doing this show for 5 years now, 7 days a week, every single night, and some people are just finding me while languishing elsewhere. I'm not sure what the deal is. How does that happen? Secret Service scrubbed your phone. No, they did not. Okay. And there was no editing of... It was really just horrendously sort of bad luck that that footage was missing right when it was missing. There's no reason, especially where they're going now. I mean, they are right on this shit, right? Why would they want that? There's no meaning. Because it's not real, Gray. It was organ harvesting. You remember?
My first time in chat.
All right, guys, here we go. So these guys are real, you know, an organization looking for actual missing black people. And that's kind of what this whole, you know, so here it is, Carlee Russell's investigation. Look at it, they even have something on here. You know, highlights it, but it turns out it's just, they should just get rid of that immediately off of there. But, you know, it was a case that was big and it was going to maybe help. Like, spread the word of helping finding missing black people. Instead, it turns out she's just an absolute idiot. Okay, so. Where is this? There we go. And that's my opinion. If I do custom amount, how does that... Oh, there, right there. Alright, so I have to fill this all out over here. I hope you don't mind that I don't show you my credit card information and all that stuff. Gray, we have to see it all or I don't believe you. Well, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that's where I draw the line. Thank you, Genie RN. Actually, hold on, I can do this. I'm going to use my... I have a... Oh, doesn't matter what I have. Where the hell is that? Okay. I'm going to get up for a second. See, and that's why we say this channel actually makes a difference. Because we're always helping out and doing great things. The DNA funds are best. You know, it's most rewarding of it all, I guess you could say. All right. Hope you guys don't mind me waiting. Let me play the music. Or mind you waiting. Not me. on the screen so you can see it. It says donor, email, Grant Hughes 2, right there, $1,000. Download the receipt. So I'll be doing that right now. I'll put it in a specific folder that I have. Be the email proving of it. All right, everybody. So, for the trolls out there that, you got to prove everything to. Here's my email right here. And then here's the I use my card for this, the PayPal one. So it says 1,000, July 19th, 2023, Black and Missing Foundation donation. All right, there it is. All right, and then I think there's actually another one in here from them, it looked like. Right here, and there's the whole thing again. So, boom. All right. All right. Thank you, freaks. You're what allow this channel to be able to do that by constantly supporting the channel. Like I said, I donate over 50% of the net revenue to various true crime-related charities, and including the DNA fund that we've got. So can I get a boom? And thank you, Black and Missing, for doing what you're doing. I'm sorry that you guys got tricked by this complete wacko. All right? So what do you guys want to do now? Should we do the call-in? Or something? I mean, this doesn't have to be the longest show in the world. I mean, earlier was long. I mean, I don't know, 2 hours and something. And it's been a really long couple days for me. So let's do a call-in. People can call in and say what you're thinking. Thank you, Cadillac. I think you guys made up for the 30% that YouTube takes away. That's cool. Let's see. Oh, get it. Why are you sending me that, Crystal? Oh, thank you to Frida and Gail earlier on PayPal. Oh! You guys hear that?
Recording in progress.
I'm just going to get the Zoom meeting and ID, and people want to call in, they can call in. So here we go. Oops. That's not what I was looking for. Second. It's in here, different number though. No, that wasn't what I was trying to do. There we go. Well, we're ready to go. Anybody wants to call in and give their thoughts on this crazy case that seems to be coming to an end, but I'll do updates when there's updates. We've given, oh, by the way, hold on a second. Before I take the calls, we gotta get these updated now. So right here, we're at, since January 2020, we are at, let's see, there it is, grand total of 158,600. The total for this year is now 31,000 850. And then we got to go edit that thing. The charities, hold on a second. Browse, donations, edit. And then there it is right there. Black and Missing now, they're at 2,000. We've already given them 1,000. Awesome. All right, so this year we have Texas Equus Search 3,850, Black and Missing 2,000, Indigenous Vision 500, Project Recovery 1,000, Wounded Warrior 1,500, DNA 11,500. That's our DNA fund. NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children 3,750, RAIN 4,250. That's Violence Against Women. Innocence Project 1,500. And there you go. So that comes up to 31,850 for the year because of the generosity of the freaks, and allows me to give out of the income from the channel while also making an income to allow me to keep doing these shows. And that comes out of the ad revenue, the super chats, and channel memberships. Super thanks now. I'm just kidding. It's all, any revenue from the channel goes in there. Super thanks. Yeah. Yeah, so the phone lines are open. If you guys want to call in, you can't see the number now, but the hell is it? Right there. We'll just wait for phone calls then. And if you don't want to call in and say what you're thinking, that's fine too. Doesn't have to be a long show. I mean, it's pretty clear now, the case. So even when the vehicle stopped for 3 minutes, it makes you add more points into something else happening. Even after that, it was still, it looks like, I think she did this herself, right? But you got to kind of keep weighing things when you get new information, and that definitely is different, and I think it's still kind of strange. Don't you guys think it's a little odd that they're still not mentioning how the car stopped for 3 minutes? I think it'd be much more interesting if they said, just below the camera, her vehicle stops while she's still talking to one of her friends. Then she initiates a 911 call while still sitting there. During the 911 call, she takes off and drives 600 meters before hanging up with the 600 yards before just continuing her call with the 911 operator, then continues talking to another friend. Doesn't that sound better? Like, it sounds like you just really nailed it in. Instead of, now that we know that it stopped for 3 minutes, it feels like they're like, come on, just get it all in there. It all works time-wise, but it's just put it in there. And so she got there in about 12 minutes and change, which is definitely possible. It all depends on the lights. Because if you look at the, where is that? This thing that I loaded up on the screen earlier, that tells you that it's 13 minutes. So if you go, if you go back over here, look how, earlier it had red right there and yellow. So that means they're basing it on the time that it is right now there. I wonder if I go like that, and what's going to happen? Yeah, it's still 13 minutes. But when I first did it, it was red there. So I'm just wondering if, I think you can make it quicker if there's not a lot of traffic. Hey, thanks, Lisa Mounts.
Thank you for all the hard work and time spent.
Well, thank you guys. Yep. I think the freaks demand, more accuracy than other places. They like to just wildly speculate on just absolute nothing for hours and hours and hours. I mean, some nights when I'm just sort of bored or whatever, I'm doing some other, like editing or something, and I listen to these late night just rambling on, panel driven, shows on like the Idaho 4 murder case, and it's just mind-boggling. It's just people just crapping out their mouths of whatever the hell they're saying without really considering the reality. I mean, it's really weird. I think KK watches some of that too. Yeah, Carlee's the Gone Girl, you think? That dog bed looks comfortable. Yeah, Blue loves that thing, man. When he gets sleeping, man, he just... Wouldn't that be cool if there was one like that for a human? Like humans could live in a little bed like that? There are, Gray. It's really cool. They take up, yeah, the whole living room. Okay. Back to that again. Anybody going to call in? It's okay if you don't. I'm just going to make it a shorter show. And I just wanted to put in there that play the. We can if you want. I can play the entire just the press conference again with the captain or whatever talking, and I won't say a damn thing. For those of you who didn't see it, I can do that. But it's pretty awesome today to have. I think that was my record number of people, other than there was one other disaster one time, and it was, God, I think there was 5,000 or 6,000. I mean, it just got out of control, and I just ended the stream. I didn't even know what the hell was going on. It was ridiculous. Huh? No, it wasn't Kanika Jenkins. There wasn't live streaming when Kanika Jenkins' case was there. I think they started it in 2018 or something. Or at least there was nobody doing live true crime. I don't think, anyways. I don't remember anybody doing that. Maybe there was. You can probably look it up. I don't know when live streaming started. Is that good or bad, JJ? Can't tell. I've listened to it 3 times. Oh, the press conference. Yeah, well, one of the problems is when you're doing the show, you got to be paying attention to what people are typing, and you miss things. And then before the show, you're trying to edit and get things ready. It appears that she gets out of the driver's side, walks around the back of the car, opens the passenger door, bends over and grabs a pack. Yeah, that's what I said. Right. Yeah, I've already said all that same thing. Laugh till you pee. Yeah. I saw someone do an image like yours, and when you zoomed right in, it was a mini-me from Austin Powers on the... That's pretty good. Yeah. Somebody earlier said my thumbnail was disgusting. How come? What's wrong with it? It's an Oompa Loompa. Are they bad Oompa Loompas? Or I guess they did drink out of that chocolate stream. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the calls. Nobody's gonna call. I'm not gonna sit there and just wait, and then somebody calls right when I'm almost finished. Yeah, well, it's funny. There's nothing disgusting about it. I mean, what's disgusting? It's not rude. It's just slightly mocking the situation by having Cheez-Its and a Oompa Loompa. Yeah. Oh, the numbers weren't working? I didn't see that. Oh well, we'll just do it at a different time. Let me put it up there and make sure that the numbers are right. And if people want to call in, then you can call it. If it just wasn't working, then...
Recording in progress.
I'm pretty sure that's not what happened, though. So the numbers aren't working now, for sure, because I turned it off. So if somebody says it's not working 3 minutes ago, it's because I got rid of it. Okay, so give that a shot if you want to call in for a minute or so. I don't know what charges. Yeah, well, I mean, I think she just wanted to disappear long enough to make it seem like she was abducted and then get all of the... Just like Papini. Papini's is the same. She wanted everybody... Well, hers is different because she needed that to explain why she was gone. But in this case, I think she wanted the attention from being gone. That's just what I think. Because it seems like she doesn't have a, but I'm not sure if that's what great attention that would be. It's just kind of weird. Everything's weird about this. I guess it's just weird because we aren't like that. Most people don't do those things. There is somebody on social media that acts quite a bit like that. One of the trolls out there, but yeah, I could definitely see her doing that. It wouldn't shock me one bit, you know. Hello, 714. Yep, that's gone. I mean, maybe she could get something like false report, obstruction of... Well, there's no justice that was really there, so I'm not sure. 802, you're on. How come I can't hear anybody? Everybody that I'm adding drops off for some reason. I do have flight radar, yeah. What a weirdo up there looking at my tabs. Let's see. Well, 2 people have called in and I don't see them anymore. We tried again. Thank you, Cadillac, again, man. You're giving me the Cadillac treatment. Literally. If they don't, we'll see it become the next TikTok challenge. Probably. I think they're saying they don't think they're going to charge her now so that she'll speak. Then they'll charge her. Depending on what she says, I guess. Hello, 802.
Hi, Gray. It's Katie Lucas.
Hey, what's going on?
So it just irked me that the fact that she had used the resources for, let's say, like I'm not sure if it's the Black Live search team or whatever it is, but she used the resources for that, and so not only is she insulting them, she's also saying that there was the white guy that grabbed her, so she's stereotyping white people also. And so I don't know, it just kind of made me a little mad about the whole situation, because she is doing it both sides, if that kind of makes sense. Like, she's kind of doing a jab at whites and blacks when we're all equal. But I mean, when people say Smollett, I don't really think it's related. Like, Smollett was a guy that intentionally tried to gin up racial tensions by pretending that it was these white people that were trying to attack him, when it was really just 2 people that he hired to go do it. And I think he should have got like 10 years in prison for that shit. That's just horrendous societal damage, you know. Like, hers is just sort of, you know, I mean, I don't think there's really, it's hard to say that there's a racial component to it, even though she says her abductor was some white guy. But I mean, who knows? Well, here's the thing. Here's what we know for sure. If it was reverse of that and it was a setup, like if a white person said
that, oh yeah, I was abducted by a black person, but it was all a lie, they would say, oh man, that guy's a racist, right? So I guess
Exactly.
But it doesn't necessarily mean they are. That might just be the story that popped into their head.
Right.
And
right.
so, it's weird how society is like that. It's always one way, though. It's never,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. But yeah, I just wanted to call and say that, so I thank you for your time. I'm going to get off now so that I don't embarrass myself even
What do you mean
further.
What do you mean embarrass yourself? You're good on there. Well, thank you, though. I mean, it was a good call. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I'll continue watching.
All right, see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Papini was definitely racial. Picks like a stereotypical, like in her mind. Hello, 765.
Hey, Gray.
Hello. Who's this?
This is Colin.
Colin again. Colin.
Yeah. How are you tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. Well, what do you got?
So I imagine you weren't surprised by today's press conference?
No, it almost matched exactly what we've been saying, other than they had these other details.
Isn't it? I feel like it's such a shame that all the legitimate missing people, and now she's not talking to police. I mean, what do you think should happen from here?
Well, I think the police have leverage on her because they have all this information, and I think at some point, I think what should happen is if she came forward and apologized with no buts, nothing like, well, but I was... No, don't throw the word but in there. Because anytime somebody says but in an apology, that means they're reversing the entire apology. That means they...
Sorry, but I was stressed out.
Yeah, okay, so you're not taking responsibility. And this is one of those cases where, just like Zav Girl, there is no out, there is no options other than to just say, you're sorry, it was a really stupid thing to do. Yeah, you might explain your reasoning behind it. But other than that, that's it, And then I think at that point people go, I've felt like that too. I wouldn't do that, but at least you would. But when these idiots sit there and they keep trying to defend themselves over and over and over again on something that's indefensible like that, then I feel like more punishment is needed. It's strange. It's like almost at that point you're like, you didn't learn your lesson by what was going on, so we're going to need to put you in jail for a month. Why don't they say we're going to charge you with this unless you come forward and tell the truth? If you come forward and tell the truth, we'll just have a fine, but if you don't, it's going to be 30 days in jail and a fine. And the truth has to match what we already know. So, and you don't tell her what you know, you just make her think you know a whole bunch. So.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting just with your coverage earlier when you said quite an elaborate thing, and it's like you mention a child and diaper, and you pull off like it's really
well. It is. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, this is not the typical seeking for attention. It's just kind of nuts.
Yeah, the weird part about it, I really think that either she thought through it a lot, or she's just a prolific liar and just on the fly can sound natural. I mean, it was weird how she described that toddler. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think he's even got pants on. Almost looks like diaper. As if she's really looking at that point. But she's not. It's all bullshit, so pretty weird.
I think it's too bad in the press conference when somebody said, do you think it's going to shed bad light on any other minority missing? And it's like, I mean, there's been extensive coverage on this. It's not like anybody said, oh, who cares about this? It's just...
Yeah, this is one of the very few cases where there's a black missing person with this much attention. And I tell you what, if it had turned out that she was kidnapped and there was some crazy person out there, it would have been, would have really sort of which is shitty that it has to be like that, but that would have probably helped out in the future on other cases of missing persons. But it really just comes down to what the facts are in the cases. And here's the thing is, there's a ton of missing people, of Caucasian people, that nobody talks about either. There always has to be certain elements. And so the thing is, there's the population, I think, is 8% black people, and when there's way less black missing people than Caucasian missing people. And then to find that one case that's really got all the little elements, this going on. I mean, this was a crazy one that it was a puzzle for people to try to put together. But most missing persons cases are just so basic, like they were last seen on 12th and Johnson Street at 9:34. If anybody has any information, please let us know. And then maybe a family member will say something, it's just, there's no information given. I think that's where law enforcement needs to step up, is on a lot of these missing persons cases. They need to work with the family, get together, and put out as absolutely much information as they have to create interest for people. Because unfortunately, that's how our society is. If it's interesting, I mean, just look at this channel. I have 4,000 people watching today, but if I was talking about a 1997 cold case, I'd have 300 people, right? So.
Yeah, and I find those more interesting than just some nutter case, something like this.
Yeah, I mean, this one was sort of interesting because it's a mystery. It was a mystery, and then even when she was found, it was a mystery because she wasn't speaking, and people just wanted answers. Now we have some answers, but not all the answers. I think there'll still be more. There'll be like updates in the future where we get to know precisely, and I think they need to get this done quick. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, I agree, and it honestly freaks me out for the future and the society, for my kids and myself. It just, man.
Yeah. So, had some water there. Well, what else you got?
Nothing much. Still tracking your Blazers, hoping for the best. I saw Dame, I'll let that rest.
Yeah. I just want him out of here at this point. So.
Yeah, it's like I said, me and the Pacers, Paul George. Get out of here. If you don't want to be here, get out.
Yeah, it's more fun with people that want to be playing. So, all right. Well, thanks for calling in. I'm gonna get this other caller, but appreciate you calling in 2 nights in a row by calling in.
Calling. All right, Gary. Have a good night, sir.
Right,
have a good week.
You too. See you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
All right. Here we go. 205.
Hey, this is Mark.
What's going on, Mark?
Tuscaloosa.
Yep, Tuscaloosa Mark. You just called in yesterday.
I've called in a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, let me tell you, why is this girl not being not necessarily arrested, but in police custody, at least being interrogated? If it was anybody else, I mean, like, that did something, I mean, they would be in there in the interrogation room, like, just pounding her about.
Yeah, but it's like there isn't really a crime. Like there's nobody in danger. It's weird. It's a weird situation because remember, it took a long time to be able to get Papini in there for their interrogation.
I got you.
Yeah,
but
so,
I've seen a lot of other cases where, somebody does something and they arrest them, put them in the interrogation room, and give them hours and hours of interrogation. I mean, she's 25. She's not a child.
Right. I mean, I guess the main part
parents,
is she got an attorney right away, which is already is a red flag. I mean, you're going to get an attorney when you were abducted and assaulted in some way, or not assaulted, but you were abducted and released, you're going to go get an attorney? How come? Why would you get an attorney for that?
That's what I was wondering. I mean, because her parents shouldn't have no say-so in a 25-year-old. You know, her parents are like the ones saying that she's not ready to talk. But it's beyond parents. I mean, she's 25. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying about the lawyer. So I was just curious, you know. I don't know. I guess they're just waiting to see if she's going to do anything, I guess. But
well, I think she's going to.
What do you think?
I think at some point she's just going to have to. I think the parents, now that they've seen this, they know the writing's on the wall. They're going to tell her, "You need to come clean." And if they don't do that, then that just means they're not giving her good advice. I can tell you that.
Well, I mean, she's ruining not only her life, she's ruining people around her life. You know, her mom's a big-time realtor up there, and I don't know what her dad does, but, you know, and then there's her boyfriend or other people around her and her surrounding family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this ain't going good for her. She's done. If this is all just a hoax, what's she gonna do? Her career and everything's gone.
I don't know. No, here's the thing. I think if she came forward right now. Here's the thing. If she came forward right now and did a public statement at the camera and showed real remorse and how stupid she was, I think in a year or so nobody gives a shit, you know. But
okay.
I do. I mean, I think people care when people apologize and they mean it, you know. That's why Zav Girl is such an idiot, because when she didn't even apologize. I mean, literally, like, you know, having an opinion that people don't like, it's hard to apologize for an opinion that you have and have it sound just because everyone didn't like it. Hers is different. She completely showed autopsy photos of a dead child the trial just finished, and the parents are grieving, and there she is, charging money for autopsy photos. Literally a paywall to watch, like a video she made with the autopsy photo. And so I think, you know, that's one of those things you obviously come forward and you apologize for immediately, and that's exactly what's in this case too. But this is less bad than what Zav Girl did. I mean, it really is. It's weird. I think this is sort of just. You know, if it was in a smaller town and it didn't pick up media, nobody would care. You know.
Yeah. The reason this is so bad, I mean, I'm sure you agree, is because it went so viral across the whole nation. Maybe even, who knows how far expanded the world or whatever, but at least the nation, everybody's on pins and needles about all this. But you know, people are now, some people saying it's a race thing, but I don't get the race thing involved in this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is.
Man, most on the black platform are against her.
Yeah, there's no race. I don't know why. I haven't seen anybody making it a racial thing here. What people are saying on my show anyway. I haven't seen anybody.
Yeah.
Huh?
On other platforms and.
Yeah, but I'm not watching the other platforms. I'm talking about mine.
No, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I got you. But I've seen it.
The argument people are making is that she accused white people of committing the crime, which has the effect of, here we go again, more white people, you know. And the thing is if it was in reverse, you know that it would be called a racial thing. If somebody accused a black person of doing it and it turns out it was a hoax, they would be called a racist, right? But in this case, nobody's going to say that, you know, because, you know, it may be just a story that she told.
Well, I always like your feedback, man. So, you know, I've got I don't know if they're dumb or what, but so I'll be calling back into you.
All
I
right, cool.
appreciate you,
Well, I
man.
like you calling in, man. Thanks for calling. Have a good one.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Mark. 978.
All right, that was Mark. 9.
You gotta turn down your audio in the background.
Hey, Gray.
Turn down your audio in the
Oh,
background.
sorry. Hang on. Oh my God. Hang on. Woo. I put on my scissors because. Hello. Oh, shut up. Freaking jerk. You're such a jerk. I swear to God.
Who is this?
Anyway.
Who is this?
It's LM.
I knew it was LM.
Your favorite person in the whole world.
You know what's weird is when you call in, it doesn't match. Your voice doesn't match who you seem like when you type in some of the comments you type in.
Oh, well, anyway. So I just put on my sister's phone because it said I couldn't hear it. And they played the music. So I was like, what if someone else says what I was saying? And then I get on and I look stupid because someone just said it. But here's my theory. First of all, I'm completely disgusted, and I find it absolutely ridiculous that all those resources were used for a freaking ruse, lie. It's very upsetting. That's all I have to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
But after listening to the press conference, maybe she was going through something she didn't tell anyone, and she had $107 in her freaking sock pocket and a bathrobe, and a part of me was wondering, what if she was getting an abortion?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, $107, does that cover it?
Well, I don't know if she actually had one. Maybe she went somewhere and had one. Do we know?
Oh, yeah, maybe she took $700 and came back with 107 or something.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe.
I'm not trying to put words in anyone's mouth. I have no idea what her I'm just making a theory up. I have no clue. But in Alabama, it's illegal to have an abortion unless it's deemed necessary. And for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the strictest
But
states
why
ever.
wouldn't she just go off to wherever she went to get one and come back without creating this "I was abducted" type of thing, and then say she wasn't even
Right.
assaulted?
I completely agree. I mean, I don't understand it either. But a part of me was thinking, okay, why would I try to go missing and not let anyone know? Not my boyfriend, my parents, no one know what I was doing. And if it's illegal and she didn't have resources and she was like, okay, I'm going to take a bus here, I'm going to take a bus there, maybe she was looking for a place where she could do it. It's just a theory. I have no idea. I'm just a theory.
Yeah, well, you never know. You're the one that put it out there, so we'll see if in the future it pans out. I don't think so. I think she was looking for attention, but the 107 was probably
I
just her.
understand what you mean.
That was probably her money
to
have on the run. Maybe she was just going to leave for. I think she was just going to leave for like a day or so and was going to use that money, maybe to stay in a hotel or take a bus. I mean, I don't even think she planned it out very well. A robe and a
obviously not
and chips.
Oh my God! What an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exasperating and it's very sad too. All at the same time. It's heartbreaking that all those resources were used when a lot of indigenous and missing and black people are often ignored, and she was just she took advantage of it without even realizing. But the one thing, she's 25 or 24 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
At that point in your life, you're getting your shit together, not making it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
When you start wondering, there's a whole bunch of rumors that were going around, and when you sort of look at those and compare to what's happening, a lot of those seem more real now. I don't know if anybody's seen that. What do you guys think?
I haven't seen it. No.
Yeah, I mean they're out there. I'll see if I can dig some up in my emails.
All right. But that was just a little theory I had, just because it is a very strict state, and maybe she didn't really like the boyfriend, or maybe I don't know. I don't want to put too much out there in case she's listening and she's like, "Oh my God, that woman is."
And she didn't want to have to. I mean, in your theory, could be like she went to do that and didn't want anybody to know the real reason why she went. She wants it to seem like she was gone because she was abducted. Because if she didn't, people would want an explanation. Now it's, I was abducted and I just showed up. So maybe that's why she did that.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's very far-fetched. It's just a theory.
Right.
I don't know.
I was just trying to help your theory out.
Why would anyone do that?
Because they're crazy. Yeah.
I know. It's seriously. Oh, I feel so bad for so many people that don't get any attention. It's awful.
Yeah.
But I won't keep you long, and I just wanted to share that theory with you. And
well, LM, it's actually good to hear you on the phone.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Love to
It's
everyone.
always been good. All right.
Good night.
Have a good one. See ya. Bye. See, that's LM. She's actually nice on the phone. It's weird. In the chat, who knows?
Chewbacca?
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to be.
I absolutely believe
If you want
this
me to.
situation was due to attention-seeking behavior with someone who's not completely mature for even her 25 years of life.
Mm-hmm. So, DeWanda Pickney Blackfoot Barber. Man, that's one of the longest names in YouTube history, right up there with Crystal, a.k.a. Beaver Gaming sub Crystal. She says, I don't think it's a race thing. I'm black. She's a liar. It's disgusting to those who actually... Yeah, well, what we were saying is that she accused the white people of being abductors. Now, I want to ask you an honest question. Do you believe that if it was a white person who set up a ruse and accused black people of being the abductors, would they be called racist? I mean, let's just say, be honest. Wow, another Quinn? I thought you were a channel member, Quinn. Or are you just another Quinn? I mean, how many Quinns do we have in here? Uh, 214, you're on.
Yes, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. What's going on? Who's this?
Well, I have a couple questions. This is VP from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, cool.
I have a couple questions. One of the more obvious things she touched on is the climbing of the fence. And nobody's really touched on the fact that if there was indeed a toddler, how do you get a toddler over a fence, a grown 25-year-old, and then you jump over the fence to be able to control
Well, yeah, we talked about that like 2 days ago.
You did?
Yeah, because it's just so ludicrous. That's why it doesn't make sense with the toddler. None of it does.
Yeah, because even if he jumped over first, then she could run way the back way. And then opposite, if she jumps over first, she can take off running before he makes the fence. But on to the next point. The ring cams in the adjacent neighborhood behind where that highway is,
that's probably
I'm sure they're looking to see, because there doesn't seem to be many outs from that neighborhood or that development.
Yeah, there's just a few little exits here and there. That's what we were saying too, is that like to escape back there, there's literally probably 5 cameras a house. Those are all really high-end homes back there. They're not just. It's a nice neighborhood. In other words, 500,000 probably minimum.
Plus, is there a way of reaching her home or her neighborhood through or under the cover of the wooded areas?
Well, I mean, if you went through the woods from where she got out and walked down, you could get on a highway, but it's still like a 3-mile walk, and she was gone for 48 hours, so she went somewhere else anyway.
Yes, exactly.
49 hours.
And the last question, I guess, would be, did the 107 that was in her sock come from her job?
Well, she did mention
and the
in her search
term,
right, yep, exactly. The search term about, like, how to get money out of a register, something like that.
Exactly. It's almost like with the police conference, the little press conference they had today, that they're boxing her in by what they're revealing versus what they're not revealing that they already know. Because I believe some of these questions they already know the answer to, and they're giving her the rope to hang herself or the rope to climb out.
I totally agree. I think they're saying, hey, You know, she hasn't come forward. Look what we already have, and then maybe her parents will be lean on her a little bit now and say, hey, you know, just come forward and tell what happened, right? Don't you think that's kind of what they're... Yeah, so... I think you nailed it.
And again, I think you made a good point that if you would just come clean at this point and admit it, that she'd be by far better off. But has the family indeed lawyered up?
Well, she has, apparently. So I guess that would probably mean their family got a lawyer. You know, that's... I mean, she's not rich, so... You know, how'd she get an attorney? I think they're being stupid right now. Literally, if she came forward and just told the truth, a month or so from now, I actually think it would take that little time. I mean, she would probably get crap for a while, but she's going to get crap for a while no matter what now. But I think when you apologize, you get less crap. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But this route here is not survivable.
Exactly. No, it's totally true what you're saying there.
Did you see the interview with her brother where he put out saying that it wasn't getting the attention before it really got the national coverage?
I did see that. Yeah.
It's like he asked for something that now they don't want.
Exactly. He was saying how nobody was covering it. I mean, it is true that, you know, missing black people don't get covered as much. But, like, he was making, why are they talking about this nationally? And, you know what's weird is when he put the video out, it was already pretty damn big on social media. And even in some outlets out there. And then a day or so after that, it got massive, and then it got huge. I mean, literally just, you know,
I wonder what the end game was if others were working with her. Because it seems like a lot of people are incriminated in this, but it just hasn't got brought out as far as...
Mm-hmm. I think there might be somebody else that was helping her, because remember how they mentioned, see, they even snuck that in there too by saying, yeah, we know who she was talking to right up until the time she called 911. So then she's like, oh shit, she knows she was talking to Judy, you know, whatever, you know, she knows they know I was talking to Judy. So then it's and then, wow, Judy's going to be able to tell him this. Oh boy. So there's a lot of talking right now going on with her lawyer, the parents, and her. And I wouldn't be shocked at all if tomorrow we get her, she's going to come forward and make a statement, or her lawyer will put out a statement. I think the only way for her to get out of this totally would be for her to stand in front of a podium and apologize directly, on her own and directly in front of a camera to the people, and then let it go.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm half black and half white, and so I kind of have a unique perspective on this as far as any kind of racial issues. I think it's just a go-to for people when they try to blame someone else. I don't really think that this is purposeful racism or race being brought into this. I think it's just a knee-jerk reaction as far as when people go to blame one another.
Yeah. I just think right now the media is always sort of focused in on one angle, you know, right. So like I was saying before, if it was the exact same story, but she was a white person who pinned it on a black person pulling over and abducting her, people would say that was racism, right?
Yes.
I mean, almost 100%.
Yeah, it's funny how it doesn't work the reverse way. I mean, if we all just take a step back, regardless of race, is the situation right or is the situation wrong, period?
Yeah, and so for me, it's not racist at all, either one of the stories. It's just a story somebody made, but people say that, and you get frustrated that it's always one-sided. It'd be cool if, you know, it was just, wow, these people are liars, like that, right?
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that we kind of keep going too, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything as well.
Well, hey, I appreciate the call. That was a good one. That was really on point and sort of a down a road to communicate about what was actually going on. So I liked it. Thank you.
No problem. And I'll continue watching. Thanks.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, I used to, like you said, he was half black and half white. I used to say, well, that's why they named me Gray. I'm half black and half white. And people would go, really? And they'd look at me and they named me Gray because I'm half black and half white. And people would look at me, oh, wow. And I go, I'm kidding. All right. Let's see. What's for this mean? Type in full sentences in one. Like it's hard to. 678. You're on.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Who's this?
Hang on one sec.
You forgot
I'm
your
gonna
name?
echo.
Wait, you're looking up your name?
No, I wasn't looking up my name.
I'm
Am
kidding.
I still echoing?
No, no, you're not. Yeah, what was your name? You're not echoing on this end.
Hang on.
You just have to
I
turn.
was echoing myself. Is that better?
Well, it was already good here. You just have to turn off the audio on your side. You just use your
I
phone.
did.
Okay.
It's better now.
Well, good.
Okay, so I probably don't have a popular opinion about any of this. But who claims that they've been abducted and their hair gets played with and their nails get painted?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like almost like a little bit of a fantasy to me. Someone's going to play with my hair and paint my nails.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to that part too. I was wondering why she was saying that. Is she trying to explain why her nails were done? Because, like, let's say her nails were done because she was actually out enjoying herself while everybody else was looking for her, and now she needs to explain why her nails are done and maybe why her hair's different, but her wig was missing. So I'm not sure what she's doing with her. What hair were they playing with if her hair was braided? You know, really tight.
I don't know, but they were playing with her hair and painting her nails. I mean, it sounds like to me, sounds like a dream come true, and they're feeding me Cheez-Its. Does that sound really, really mean?
I get
yes.
it. So what you're saying,
I
it
love Cheez-Its.
was spa day. She works at a spa, but she never gets to enjoy a spa, so she went somewhere, had somebody painting her nails, feeding her Cheez-Its.
Playing with her
There was probably
hair.
somebody with a palm frond, you know. She didn't bring that part in.
I also thought that it was really interesting. I don't know if anybody agrees with me. Maybe not. Maybe so. Did you notice all of the beautiful professional photos that they showed across the news? I mean, it was just, I mean, she's a really pretty girl, and they showed like these gorgeous photos of her, just like, you know what I mean? Like, all these beautiful photos, and then her hair gets played with, and her nails get painted, and they feed her Cheez-Its.
So what do you think?
There was something else I wanted to mention.
Well,
too.
but what do you think I mean, what do you think they were doing then? I mean, you're just goofing around, right?
Well, I mean, I really do. It seems like a Sherry, is it Papanini? Her name is so hard to pronounce.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe she was trying to get her face out there and be more popular. So even after getting through the hate, she'll be sort of famous anyways and be pretty.
Well, I've been TikToking
Like
a little
advertising.
bit, and I've seen some things on TikTok about some exchanges that she had with someone that her boyfriend maybe had been cheating on her with. That was pretty interesting, I thought. And those messages, y'all will just have to go check those out and just see those for yourself. It's right there. It'll be in the top feed. If you just search her name on TikTok, it'll come right up. Some interesting things have been mentioned about this. I guess it was a stripper. Her boyfriend was cheating on her with a stripper, maybe. I don't know if this is true, but it's very interesting. They do have like the text messages up to show exactly what was said.
Yeah, but it's hard to ever know. It's hard to ever know if those text messages you get are real.
I know. Oh, no. But I do find it interesting. I'm not saying any of that's true. I'm not here to you know, say anything like that. I'm not trying to spread any rumors. I'm just saying it's there and it's interesting. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and maybe it's real too. Because I was saying earlier that I've gotten a whole bunch of screenshots of comments people have made with like things that they said, or this is what's going on, and now they seem more reasonable. Even that they even seemed reasonable then, but it's irresponsible to put out total rumors when you don't have an answer. Now that there seems to be answers in terms of where law enforcement's going, I think it's almost like now you can open the door to looking at those because it fits that side and what law enforcement's saying. So.
Yeah. I just thought it was really interesting, and I don't know if anybody agrees with anything that I said, but I just thought I would mention those things because, I don't know.
I thought they were interesting.
It's comical, but it's also, I don't know, it's really unfortunate because so many resources were wasted. I don't know. I just hate that for those who are really missing out there, and they do need the attention, and they do need to be found, you understand what I'm saying, for their families, for closure and everything else. And now all of these wasted resources have just gone to whatever this is.
Well, it's like the boy who cried wolf, It's just...
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't want to take up too much
What's
of
your
your
name
time.
again?
I just wanted to...
What was your name?
Oh, I'm AZ.
AZ, like just the letters?
AZEE. It's like maybe, but AZ, but it's AZEE.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I thought it was interesting what you're saying. I think there was something that made me go, about why I mentioned fingernails and playing with my hair. I mean, what a strange... Yeah, I mean, you could almost make an argument that this was a whole... She's got a really pretty face and just sort of looks like she's...
Oh, you did it. You triggered it. I wanted to mention something else.
Oh,
thank you. You triggered it.
Oh, yeah.
I did want to mention one more thing about I think they took photos of me. What is that?
Oh, because maybe there's going to be these photos coming out later, and she's going to be all dolled up. Oh, well, when they messed with my hair, they made it look really good, and then, yeah, wouldn't that be weird if this was all done as a self-promotional thing that once the anger dies down, people will go, wow, she's so pretty. Let's see what, wouldn't that be crazy if that was it?
Really weird that she mentioned that. I think they took photos, I don't remember, like Sherry Papanini or whatever her name is. I don't remember. She remembered so much, but she remembered a lot of things that, that we had questions about. Same with this same case, but who just says that? I think, they undressed me. I think they were taking pictures of me. I just thought that was really odd. You would know, right?
Now, what if she went off to do something like that? Intentional, to take pictures, and I don't know where she's going. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it is weird. It is weird to mention those specific things all in that instead of talking about anything else. You're what happened to you and things you're talking about. You got painted nails. They were playing with my hair, and they took off my clothes and they
feeding her
took pictures.
Cheez-Its, don't forget that.
Oh yeah, and feeding her
and then
the
they had a
Cheez-Its
photo
she bought.
shoot.
She bought the Cheez-Its. Yeah.
And then they had a photo shoot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Real interesting, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to bring up those points.
Yeah.
I hope nobody hates me in the chat. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful.
I don't think there's a soul that thinks you're. I don't think there's a soul in there that thinks you're disrespectful or crazy, because those are things that were literally said by her, and you're just kind of wondering what those might mean. Yeah.
I'm just saying the things that maybe people may be too uncomfortable to say. I'm just going to say it.
I don't think it makes anybody uncomfortable. I remember thinking about a couple things like that while listening to it, about the nails and the hair and the photographs. Just what is she saying there? It's really unusual. But maybe there's some sort of,
Someone kidnapped me for 49 hours and play with my hair and paint my nails.
Fed me Cheetos. It was the greatest 49 hours I've ever had.
I'm just saying, it didn't sound like that bad of a deal to me, but personally, I'm just playing. Nobody please get offended in the comment section. I'm just playing around. I'm going to go now before anybody gets too mad.
Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you for taking my call.
See ya. All right, see you.
All right, everyone drop down in chat. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Those are interesting things that she said. Should we try to listen to that part again somewhere? Let's see. Where is that? I think I could probably scroll over to it.
Thank everyone for being here today. Besides, on July 13th, 2:35 a.m., A search for a one-way bus on a computer at Carlee's place of employment. Continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data included several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?"
Thank you, Gwendolyn B.
was searched.
And snug
on
with
July
a pug.
13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "Birmingham Bus Station," was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th.
That was in the very early morning hours of the same day that she goes missing in the evening.
On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken.
Yeah, so right around noon. So 12:10, literally 9 hours and 9 hours and 20 minutes before she made her 911 call. 25 minutes. 9 hours, 25 minutes before the 911 call, she looks up the movie Taken.
A film about abduction was conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert.
Am I too old for an
There
Amber
were other
Alert?
searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches.
Let me go back.
She also had a tear on her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right.
That's her spending money.
Sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched.
Yeah, so she wanted to make sure that, if it costs any money, or will she be charged for it later?
On July 13th
she went
at
missing.
1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught."
So she learned how to take the money from the register at her work, hence the $107 in cash in her sock.
Was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "Birmingham Bus Station," was searched.
Yeah, and so maybe she was planning on taking a bus out of town for a few days.
On July 13th.
With the money, using the money that she put in her sock.
2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken.
I don't really have a good plan yet. Let me see what Taken had in the movie. Ooh, I like that part.
A film about abduction.
Where a girl is abducted to put into sex trafficking. Boy, this sounds really neat. I think I'll try to do the same thing. I can't think of any reason why somebody would abduct me out here, so let me also put into the story an Oompa Loompa, where it's on the side of the road. I'll describe it wearing diapers, a white t-shirt, and looking like a small child.
Was conducted.
That would be the lure. Then some larger person abducted me from out in the woods and brought me through the woods and over a fence. That's what I'm going to tell them. It's a really neato story.
2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee.
Am I too old? To be in an Amber Alert?
His phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions.
Yeah, I believe the Red Roof Inn story completely. After she was found that same night, walking home, and it turns out the family admitted that they did go to the Red Roof Inn the next day. So the family's like trying to cover up stuff. And I don't like that part either. They keep changing things. Oh yeah, that never happened. That never happened. Oh well, it did happen, but
left to be answered. But only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of.
And when I say cover up, I mean they're just trying to protect their daughter, and they didn't want like the Red Roof Inn story is that really happened, but they didn't want probably everybody showing up to the Red Roof Inn before they got to go over there and check it out, but she wasn't there. So obviously she was somewhere else. Maybe she was with somebody else. And then later got dropped off near her house and she walks home.
Of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators.
But I mean, I just think that the families, in a case like this where, I mean, we shouldn't get to know any of the stuff that's going on, like, how did the part where there was a call at the Red Roof Inn, how did that get out into the public? I mean, that's a question. That seems like something that should have just been kept in their little small circle where they were trying to figure things out.
We have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
Yes, the toddler really was an Oompa Loompa, Chad.
Much.
Wait, by the way, what was the part we were looking up? I forgot. No, it was the... yeah, I think it was back here, right?
Crime scene investigators, numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, those searches all turned up. These searches took place throughout the day Friday.
Yeah, the hospital stuff.
And again on Saturday's residence, stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB.
The interview they had.
Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also...
So I think it's possible she took off with a male and a female for a couple days.
Told detectives she could hear a baby crying. The male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She's
wow, orange hair with a big bald spot on the back.
Said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a...
So doesn't this sound like something sort of like a mysteriously fun date? Or like her hand, like the last caller might be onto something, you guys. I mean, I'm not even just making this up. Like, she's not even... I mean, if any of this is even true, this part, maybe this is a fantasy that she has in her own mind and threw it into this story. But look how weird this is. You're blindfolded and your hands are free. You're just like, oh, you're being led somewhere. You know what I mean?
House and made her get undressed.
So they made her get undressed. Now she's blindfolded and undressed.
She believes they took pictures
of
her,
Don't know.
But she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact.
No contact with her. She could just sense lights coming in through the blindfold.
She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers.
And when she woke up the next morning, somebody was there feeding her cheese crackers.
Crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair.
Played with her hair while feeding her the crackers.
But could not remember anything else.
And painted her nails.
At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to
That's pretty
escape
weird, isn't it?
while it was in the West Hoover area. She told
That sounds like the absolute opposite of being attacked or anything.
detective she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock.
Okay.
Out of respect for Carlee and her...
So there we go. We've already gone over all that. So I can just upload this stat later if anybody wants to see it. And, the other thing that we had was this one. I think this is kind of interesting. So I'll move it forward. This is synced up to what law enforcement's telling us. So right around now, you see the lights blinking down here. At the bottom of the screen, her hazard lights are off-screen blinking and her car is still. See? There they are. And you know what's weird is at first it seemed like, now that I look at that, let me look at that again. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I am crying laughing at your
Okay.
commentary. Great.
Well, good, Ali79. I try to make people laugh. At appropriate things. Did you hear Gray? He makes people laugh at true crime. There's the blinking lights. So let's move it forward to like the 911 call is made in the 9:34 minute. So I have it set up where probably like at 9:34 and 25 seconds or so, that's when her car takes off, and the 911 call is 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and I think that's when the 911 call ends after it drives about 600.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there is a kid just walking by themselves. Hold on. Where on 459 are you?
Thank you, Deborah Lynn.
I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Med, like to get off by the Hoover Med. Okay, so you're before the exit? Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like towards Tuscaloosa or toward 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay. And was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound? How old do they look? Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of
It's
the
like
car.
totally.
I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. Right now? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No, no cars anywhere. Okay. Alright, what's your name? My name is Carlee Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. Okay. Alright, and do they have shoes on? No. Not that I can see. I can't really see that. Look. Okay. Alright, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
And look at that. See, boom, then 911 call ins, and then she calls her other friend. So, but it might be a little bit before that. So that would even make it closer to 934. And the car isn't quite there yet. And that's why they have it at 600 feet when it's actually 700 and something. So, anyways, I think that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage of this case. Thought it was at least interesting the way we did it over here. Trying to go with the factual pieces of information, and even with the 3 minutes of time that the car stopped, it never once weighed the evidence into the favor of it actually being an abduction. It just gave a little bit more weight in that. So I think it was like 90-10 and 70-30, but always in that camp of it being fake. So now when there's updates, we'll definitely, do those. There might even be one tomorrow, So, I mean, we just don't know. So thank you to, and if you missed it, earlier in the evening we donated $1,000 to Black and Missing. And that's the second. We've already given them $1,000 earlier in the year. So we're at $2,000 there now. Melanie Knight, Michelle, Holly G, Cadillac with a cat eye, Michelle, new member, Eugenie, LM, gifted a membership, Mercedes Rivera, Kit Kat 2, Cadillac, Bama Forever, gifted, well, not gifted, it was a cat eye donation, Trap House Slots, LM, Pamela Dasgupta. Let's see, Katie Lucas, hippie chick, who said, been lurking forever, you do great work, this is my first super chat to any channel. Well, that's so nice, thank you. Dreaming of blue skies and sandy beaches. Cheyenne R, she said the best true crime channel. Flounder 23, Pink Sky S, Brown Eyed Girl 714, Lead with Love, Tracy Seamer, Michelle, Melanie Knight, Mercedes Rivera, Karen Andrews, Chera Doobie, Booberry, WNC Granny, Exploring with Blondes, Jeannie RN, Cadillac, another cat eye, Carla, Lisa Mounts, 21 months, Lisa Mounts with a super chat, Cadillac again, then D. Wanda Pinkney, Blackfoot Barber, the second longest name in YouTube history. Gwendolyn B, Snug with a Pug, Gwendolyn B, Snug with a Pug. Patty Wilson, new member, Allie79, and Deborah Lynn Polly Putnam. So thank you guys, really appreciate it. I'm going to go do something else, my brain is fried. Okay? But hopefully you guys, everything sort of makes sense now. It's, the only thing that ever made sense was that it wasn't a real thing. Anytime you try to make it a real story, things didn't work. And we remember how we were even saying how the little kid must have to run 1,000 miles an hour, be like the bionic baby, and that's exactly what law enforcement. So what's cool is if you were following us during this, you would see how similar the press conference was to a lot of the stuff that we were already saying over here. I hope you guys noticed that. So again, everybody, thank you for being here, and welcome to all the new subscribers and freaks out there. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out the door if you could. That'd be awesome. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. At a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Oh, they're almost done with the drywall. And
yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing
for quite a while. The spackling
now.
Stuff that they do.
And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector. Look rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Feels like Rick gonna give another lecture.
And by the way, thanks to all the great callers tonight. Very good.
And I'm always gonna be a pup protector.
Fool deflector, interceptor, Palomino that'll spectre with a vector.
On his pector, with all respect, y'all. Just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. And I'll send it to you straight without a blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you. Yep. And also, thanks for all the callers who called in. Very good calls. But every one of them was interesting. All right, so thanks again, everybody. We'll see you guys later. And
okay, bye.
all right, see you guys later.
Goodbye, everybody. Hey.
Okay, bye.
I already said goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Gray, why does she keep saying that?
Well, Mary Lou, it's a computer, for God's sakes.
Well, what am I?
Well, you're not a computer. Remember, you didn't want to be a computer. You said you weren't a computer.
Oh, that's right. Good night, everybody.
Oh, jeez. She got confused there for a minute. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.